How do you go about creative offer testing? It depends on the type of traffic that you're looking to get distribution for. If you're building out an offer, right? Usually what happens is like once you're running some traffic to it, you'll have a control. You'll have a creative that's your control. And what that means is that's your best performing creative. And then what you would do is you would create something separate, or maybe you tweak something. And then what you do is you would do like an A/B test, where like if you're buying traffic to your control, you could split the traffic 50-50. You want to do it to the same traffic so that you can now analyze it the right way. Like if you do it to two different sources, there's too many variables there to determine, like it could be the traffic versus the creative, right? Also, if you're tweaking anything on the creative from the control, you want to do one thing at a time. You don't want to do multiple things. As you're doing this to optimize that creative, if you do more than one, you're not going to know what worked. What was the thing that increased the click rate for you, right? But at the end of the day, creatives are all for just getting clicks, getting somebody interested, getting somebody to click to get to some place. That's the way I would do it. What CRM or software could I use for lead distribution? There's a bunch out there. We have our own internal software that we use. Right now, I'm not using anybody else's, but there's a bunch out there. I mean, if you go in and you just kind of, Google lead distribution or CRM distribution, our Server Detective software, when we have it set up, we'll be able to integrate things into the platform that you'll be able to send the leads to your partners. And it's through like server-to-server API instructions, depending on where they want it sent, whether you're sending it to like their email platform, you're sending it to their database, things like that. In the quest to build up my current rank and rent website, I found a new technology, which is a pixel that captures the visitor's data from website visits. This can be used to retarget the individual as likely to become a lead and create some custom audiences for Facebook. They have shown me how to sell the pixel and implement it for use for business. I want to get your opinion on the tech, and if you think it can genuinely help business create more leads, maybe you can help me get in front of business owner. The answer is yes, guys. What it's called is like all these different platforms have the ability to place a pixel on your websites. And if somebody lands there, what happens is they drop a cookie onto your browser. And now some rules are changing. I don't know if you guys are watching what's going on with like Facebook and all that good jazz. There's a strategy where you want to drive traffic to your site. You could do it to a video. You could do it to a content page, something that gets them interested and they're showing that they have some sort of intent. You cookie that user, browser, pixel. If you do it from Facebook, now the pipes are connected. So what happens is anytime that browser then pulls up Facebook, they're identifying that browser. They don't know who it is. They don't know their PII, right, which is personal identifiable information. So name, email, they don't know any of that, but they do know that you're part of a custom audience from that person's, let's say Harry, and then Harry could be putting together like an ad campaign to target just the people that landed on that content page, a retargeting event, right? Now to do that, the pipes have to be connected. So if you wanted to do on Facebook, you have to have Facebook's pixel. If you had your own pixel and then you go to Facebook and you want to do that, it's not going to work. You can upload emails to Facebook to create custom audiences, but you can't use different pixels. The pipes have to be connected for it to work. And you can do that all over the internet. The answer is yes. It's a very valuable strategy. You should be doing that at all times. In our survey platform, we're developing the software, right? But when it's rolled out, the concept is all around us getting somebody to go through a survey and answer all kinds of questions so we can learn more about them so that you can customize the messaging. So attract, identify, segment, target, position, right? So you want to attract the right users. You can identify which segment they belong in so that you can create a target market with custom messaging that is solving their specific problem. And then what you're doing is you're positioning your business or product or service to their specific problem to make them feel like you're speaking to them, that you're answering their problems, you're relating to them, they feel understood, rather than just one message that goes out to everybody. So that's like the whole like kibbutz of this is like why it's so powerful is that you're learning more and more about these people that then you can create a target market with a custom message that will get them to be able to become a customer to you, and you can compete with the big boys. Like that's how Allbirds did it in the sneaker space against Nike, Adidas, and became like a massive company, right? by just niching down and finding target markets and then positioning your business to solve that problem better than anybody else in the marketplace. But yes, retargeting is a massive thing. Works. So in ours, we can retarget by how you answer the questions. You could literally place a pixel like by each answer in the questions if it's multiple choice and create custom audiences throughout the entire survey. So if someone comes through the survey, starts answering questions, and then leaves, they don't give you their information, you could still retarget to them ads without capturing any data. So it's pretty powerful. Do you ever do one-on-one sessions? I don't. I mean, when I started my business, I was a consultant before I even did anything, and I hated it. I didn't like it. For me to do a one-on-one session, I would have to charge so much money that it would just be massive, right? So for me to be able to do that, no. But I'm looking to do things where like in an environment where I could do either like training programs or group coaching where like I go through a whole process and follow along. And if there's questions or things I'm not hitting on, obviously you can talk back and forth to me on what's happening. If we do a coaching program, that would probably be the closest thing to one-on-one, where we'll have a team of people that will help you with your business to build your business. And in that scenario, the way we would set that up is it would be a high ticket offer, right? Where we would charge X amount of dollars. And then we would put together a whole program of a training talking you through like the process. And then you'd have somebody that you can communicate with. Is there a national business registry where I can find the target companies? There's definitely lists where you can go out and find things. Like Salesforce has, you could pay like 10 grand and they can give you access to one of their systems. But so yeah, there's ways you can go buy lists if you wanted to go after it. I don't do a lot of that. One of my companies did that with a social media company where we paid for that service and they did some outreach going after B2B, and it could work. It's just, you're just like blasting a ton of emails, phones, like really like hustling, hitting the ground, like not my thing. I like to go out and generate leads, go find them, let them raise their hand and show that they're interested by clicking and taking the first action, because that lead's going to be much higher quality for me. But there are things you can do like that for sure. Or you could take a list and then maybe use it to then go and bump it up against some other database to learn more about them. So there's things like that, but sure. I want to create leads for an online course that will later lead into my coaching program. I want to utilize surveys to generate these leads and qualify them for the coaching business. Would like to know your experience and advice. I mean, I'm doing it now. I mean, that exact model we're doing for like people in Russell Brunson's like highest mastermind. We're doing all of that right now and kind of just trying to, figure out different ways to prove out concepts so that I can take what's working and put these templates in the system so that you ultimately can come in and use it. My goal is that you can come in and then there's those templates and everything's there waiting for you to just build a business, right? Instead of you wasting all your time with going through and trying to figure out like, what to do with design or the question or things like that. Yeah, that exact model works with surveys. You'll be able to use this. I want to do video ads versus PPC to set myself apart from the high PPC cost in my current market. Are video ads as good as PPC leads? Video ads are awesome. PPC is awesome. They're both awesome, but video ads will definitely outperform image ads. I was just with somebody that was doing that. We're building a survey for this person all around like an ad agency. I think it's great. Video ads are great. What do you deal with to have someone help you write up proposals so that you are covered legally when working with prospects? What all would be included in an agreement? I'm not a lawyer. I have agreements. You would talk to an attorney. Typically, an agreement has, to me, two things. One is there's just you getting covered legally on things, and then there's the business decisions of what you need to make. Typically, when I build out an IEO, I would do it based on what the business is, and then I kind of ask questions. I ask the attorney to explain it to me, and so I can make an educated decision on things. And if somebody redlines my contract, meaning like marks it up, I send it over to the attorney and I go, all right, explain to me what that means so I can make a decision on if I want to do it or not. And then typically anything that's a business decision I'll make. On a legal decision, I'll ask him to explain to me, the pros and cons to it. And then I would ultimately make the decision on I'm comfortable taking that risk or I'm not, right? Like something that always comes up is, venue. Like if somebody sues somebody, who has jurisdiction. If I want to sue you, then I would want jurisdiction in New York because I live in New York, right? If you're in California, you're like, well, no way. I don't want to come to New York. Every time there's like a proceeding, it's expensive and annoying. I want it in California. So we go back and forth, right? A lot of times we'll do the jurisdiction and the venue based off of the defending party. And what that does is, if you sue me, it's in New York. If I sue you, it's in California. So what it does is it ultimately like kind of helps us to work things out without going into any legal battles, because then once you're in a legal battle, it never works anyway, even if you have to go to arbitration or just kind of figure out a solution. If I had a program, would I offer some IOs and agreements? Possibly. I'd have to figure out like if I'm liable for anything, if you guys use it and something goes wrong, because I'm not a lawyer, but I would help you for sure. Or you get an attorney and I can give you an attorney, or you just can use ours, but you know, maybe just some claim. It's good to see some of you guys. Appreciate you guys taking the time. Again, appreciate being part of Tech's community and the videos on YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube, dude, if you guys like it, share it, comment, you know, that would be helpful. I'm always trying to grow that thing. Keep asking questions. Anything I do, I'm gonna announce the Tech's community first to get it done. I have a few other groups that I talk to. With that said, guys, good meeting y'all. I'll give you a little quick little tip. The way we score leads when we do that on the front end, if we're doing market research and we ask a question like this, the lead will be more valuable based on how much information they put in the open-ended questions. In addition to, do they fill out their name, email, do they give us their phone number? All of that comes up with a score, and then we look at that, and then we then analyze it and kind of rank it by each, and then go through that process. But you got to make sure you're surveying the right people. All right, guys. Well, I got to go. Appreciate you guys all. Talk soon. Take care.